All right, this is Digitizer 5, and I'm just going to show you how I set it up. I'm not sure that you even have Digitizer 5, so I'll show you how I set it up. This may work for other programs. I have several, but this is the one I use the most, and this is the one I use to know the best. First of all, the machine that I use the most is the 500E. So that's the machine that's, and the hoop that I use the most is the 200 by 280. Anything that I make that's smaller will still fit in that hoop, so I pretty much keep it on that hoop. The other thing that is important as far as I'm concerned, because I'm going to save this as a template, so you set up the hoop that you want that goes with the machine that you use. You usually set up your fabric as well. That would be in design settings, I think. No fabric. Yeah, I have it set on pure cotton. I don't often sew on cotton, but it's a pretty basic fabric. It's not very stretchy, and I don't sew. I don't list brocade, so cotton is close enough. Um, you can also set up your colors for your background and your hoop. But the thing that's important as far as I'm concerned, besides the size of the hoop, is the colors at the bottom. Now, I often do a preliminary design, or if I do a photo stitch design, I do it in designs. And I generally usually use about 20 colors. Even though I never show off 20 colors, I usually set it to 20 colors. Now, when I bring a design like that into this hoop or any other hoop, it's going to knock off however many colors that there are in the design. There's 5 colors. It'll put them as the first 5 colors, and it doesn't move these colors. It simply overrides the first 5 colors. So if I have 20 colors in most of my designs that I bring in, I know it's going to override the first 20 colors. So I set up the colors so that these 20 colors here are repeated from 21 on. 21 is actually number 2, number 22 is number 1, this is number 3, this is number 4, this is number 5, and so on. So when I bring a design in that's going to override these colors, I still get to keep the ones that I want. I spent a great deal of time writing down all the colors, the threads that I use the most. And no, I don't, there's 98 colors here, of which, again, 20 of those are colors that get overridden or are repeated. And no, I don't use all of these colors all the time. But in fact, but the ones that I do use the most are usually at the beginning, the black and the white. Most of these browns I use a lot. But I did group them according to color ranges. Because if I'm going to use, and I set them all up, and then I proceeded to put the colors in here so that they would be in the order that I wanted. For example, this is a light olive green. This is a medium olive green. This is a darker olive green. Even though it looks lighter, and this is an even darker one. The colors on here are not always accurate, which makes it bad. But for example, I know, let's see, let's go up here. Oat, 761. This is darker than muslin with 871. Actually, the colors of these, if you switch them, they'd be about right. This is the color of this, and this is the color of this. But I know that this is lighter, so I have it in the bar before this one. Even though when I go to do it, I could use the darker color and then switch the names of them later, but I often forget that. So I just go ahead and use the right names for the colors so that when I go to sew them off, I do have the right colors. Sometimes I'll switch them temporarily to make sure that it looks right and then switch them right back, which you can do with just an undo. But lining up the colors it took a long time, but it has saved me hours and hours. Because these are colors that I use all the time. These are all the Mettler colors that I use and some of the Janome colors that I use. I only use a couple of Janome colors, mostly the metallics. And um, so having done that, I don't have to spend a lot of time going over here and looking for the colors in the thread box. All of these thousands of colors, I already know where they are. Um, so that was an important point, doing the colors. Now, once I have everything done the way I want it, then I saved it as a template, save as a template. And I gave it I gave it my name so I know that normal is the one that comes with the machine. This is my template right here. And I'll bring this in every single time. So, for example, um, if I were to open up a design in a new hoop and bring in a PE design, it would override these colors, as I said. If I brought it in, if I simply opened it up, it would open up generally in this hoop, but it wouldn't show me any of my colors. It would show me just the 5 colors or 6 colors that were in the design. And so in that case, I almost always have the hoop and bring the design into the hoop, which you can do by importing it. File, open, insert a design. But if I do open a hoop, open a design that hasn't, instead of bringing into here, what I'll do is select the whole thing, copy it, and paste it into the hoop so that again, I will get my colors because they're important to me. All right, so